Go. Is it not syncing up yet? There we go. TikTok. All right. Move some of this shit out the way. There we are. Way. Go live. Where's the flip on here? Flip camera. There we go. All right. Got everything up and running now. Let me get a sip of my water. What is going on? What is going on, y'all? Let me get readjusted here in my seat. Give me a second. Make sure that this is up and running. Okay, that looks like it's up and running. Okay, solid. What's going on, y'all? Happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Not wearing any green today, unfortunately. I'm going with the Oakland Raiders stuff, but it is what it is. Red Cloak, what's going on, man? How are you? What's going on? Hey, Nick, what's going on? Is that Ghazi? Is that how you pronounce your name? Ghazi, or is it Gotzi? Maybe pronouncing that incorrectly, so my apologies. But what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Hope your day's going well. Let's see, what's Bitcoin at now? 74? Still kind of chopping around. Yes, correct, Ghazi. Okay, cool. Well, welcome to the stream, man. I appreciate the support. Appreciate you coming in here today, especially with St. Patrick's Day, too. I know there's so many plans today that people want to do, so I definitely understand. But we're going to dive into some Bitcoin charting here in a second. Just want to make sure that everyone's getting into the live, getting comfortable. Got my Auburn Cup. We got snipped this year from March Madness. We didn't make it. Red Cloak said I'm drunk already. What you drinking, Red Cloak? Some Guinness, some Irish whiskey? What are we talking? What up, Nick? How are you? At Nick, War Eagle. War Eagle anyways. Yeah, 100%. I mean, we played so well, too. It was such an unfortunate end to the... Hold on one second. Let me adjust my camera here. Yep. What the... Okay, that was weird. I have a thing holding my phone, so it was like it was messing around with the volume and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, we had such a good end to the year. Unfortunately, we didn't make it this year, but it is what it is. Great info. How did you get started analyzing charts? Trial and error. A lot of it's trial and error. A lot of it's just learning. I went to school for finance, so I was a financial advisor for a good bit and did that for a few years. And I liked it, but I was young out of school, just wanted to experience new things. So got started with some software sales and still continued doing financial analysis just with my own personal capital and getting, used to you get sucked into everything as a young, I'm about to be 31 now, but when you're young out of school, when you're 21, 22 out of school, and you just get caught up in all the crap. So day trading, all the different strategies, the moving averages stuff, all these different day trading strategies that were going around at that time, and you get hooked into it, and it's kind of like gambling. So I tried to help others that are going through that, because day trading is not gambling. You can lose a lot of money. So it was a lot of trial and error, a lot of learning, a lot of just going through strategies, finding out what worked, what didn't work, and then just analyzing markets on your own time and just going through it. So it just really just takes time. There's no like clear-cut way. Every strategy is different. Everyone looks at markets differently. Everyone has their own like personal touch or personal flair to it. We all kind of arrive at the same destination, but typically It just requires a lot of time. Adri, what's going on? How are you? I'm good. I'm good. A little stuffy today. I won't lie. Georgia, the pollen's kind of coming out, so I'm a little stuffy today. A little tired. We'll see how the live stream goes. I may not go as long as yesterday, but if the live stream's going pretty well, we'll continue to continue moving on. But doing well. How are you? Do you know Calvin Hill? He is very good, like you also. I've had a couple people say that before. I did check out one of his live streams before. It does seem like we have similar like mindsets around where like just investing as a whole and taking a long-term approach and then taking a like calculated approach to investing, removing emotions. Like I think we align very similar on that type of stuff. And then obviously his strategy is different than mine. I don't believe he uses Elliott Wave Theory, but you know, we kind of arrive at the same destination. But from the live stream itself, we definitely had similar values for sure. MLB said it's the dude that can't miss. Tell me what crypto I should put 50K in. I appreciate the confidence, MLB, but I mean, hey, I think if you want to play it safe, you know, Bitcoin, if you want to get a little bit riskier, then, you know, maybe Ethereum, maybe XRP, maybe some SUI. But I think at that amount, I would definitely diversify it just to get exposure to other assets. But with a safe bet from here with Bitcoin, for me, let me flip the screen. I'll show you what I mean. So for me, right, like I'm still waiting for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move to happen for Bitcoin, like this move right here. Now, once that happens, I would say this is a really good risk to reward zone in the 60 to 50K region. And then my next targets after that are 200. So that's a nice, you know, what, 3 to 4x from that price, which, you know, is a pretty good risk to reward. I mean, XRP looks a little bit different. Ethereum looks a little bit different. Solana looks pretty good. But I think if you take a strategy and say, okay, I'm going to put, you know, 50% of that in Bitcoin, put another 30% in Ethereum, put like 10% in XRP, put 10% in SUI, put 10% Solana. However you want to divvy it up, I think that'd be a really good approach, in my opinion. And that's kind of what I do. Like I diversify my investments for sure. We still thinking Bitcoin dropping below 60K zone. Yeah, so nothing's changed for me. Even if you throw this fib on here from, you know, the top of wave 2, or let me change the color of these so they're more visible for you guys. I'll change into white just so they're a little bit more, or maybe yellow. Let's go yellow. Let's try that. I mean, that's kind of clear. I mean, yeah, it looks clear on the screen, so let's go with that. But based on the structure with this, if we take the fib retracement from the top of wave 2 to the bottom of wave 3, nothing's changed. And you can see we're, you know, kind of seeing a reaction at the 0.5, which again was sort of my zone of, like, these are always my zones of high confluence between the 0.382 and the 0.618. So anywhere in this zone, we typically see some type of reaction. And for wave 4s, meaning the 1, 2, 3, and then for the wave 4, typically the wave 4, it doesn't have to 100% of the time, but typically part of the strategy is wave 4 will retrace to the 0.382, so this orange line right here, and then we'll see the reaction, you know, the move after that. And we saw that a little bit, right? If you zoom in on Bitcoin here, these are daily candles, by the way, too. So all these are daily candles. We saw this initial reaction right here, right? We pumped up, we tried to continue, and then we saw a dump lower. And then obviously, you know, price rebounded from there. And that's why I was saying we need to pay attention to this top here and then the 0.5 and the 0.618, because those are high confluence zones that price likes to retrace to. And we're seeing that right now too. We tried to pump above the 0.5 and we're seeing a little bit of a rejection, sort of an indecision right now. We just got to play it out and see what price does. If we get a reaction dump from here, you know, that's kind of a good sign, meaning a good sign that the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move is going to happen. But until price action reveals itself, we're just waiting. That's kind of where we are right now. We're just playing the patient waiting game. This wave 4, it's similar but not the same. You can see, right? So if I circle this one and then circle this one, these are both wave 4s just on different time frames, meaning this is like the bigger wave 4 and this is the sub wave 4. So these red numbers right here are the larger wave, the yellow are the sub wave of 5. So in this red subwave, you're going to get 5 waves down, which are denominated by these yellow, smaller Roman numerals. So this is the subwave 4 of 5. This is the larger wave 4 of 5. And you can see the similarities between these, right? We have like this chop, a downward movement, a pump up, a pump down, a pump up, and then the drop. And then right here, we have this, choppy downward movement, pump up, rejection, then pump up again. Do we see a reaction from this level and we finally get the drop? Possible, but we just have to wait and see what price does. Until this level up here, again, until this level up here is hit, this basically the end of wave 1 at 87,193, until price either drops down or continues to pump and invalidates this wave count, we're just in the corrective 4 and we're waiting until price kind of shows us its hand. But right now it's just a waiting game. Let's see. What up, Matt? Going all in. Bitcoin 5060, Solana, Sui, Chainlink, Tau, Hedera, Injective, Uni. I do like all those positions. I do personally own all of them, but Solana and Sui. Sui does look like a pretty good risk reward, but hope you're doing well, Matt. Do you think Solana will go down or will go up? I mean, my long-term, my sort of mid-term target on Solana based on the structure of Solana, it kind of looks similar to Bitcoin, meaning, we have this 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, just look at the structure, right? It looks very similar to Bitcoin. You have this 1, 2, 3, 4 developing in 5. I do think again, with Bitcoin dropping from, which is part of my opinion and my thesis, is Bitcoin dropping from here to the 60, 50K region. That is how many percent decline on that? So say the drop starts from here. Let me see, where's my percentage thing? So if price goes to drop from this high right here and then go to 55K, we'll just cut it right in the middle. We won't say 50, we won't say 60. That's a 26% drop on, Bitcoin. What would that mean for Solana, right? Like Solana could drop another 30, maybe even 40, just depending on where, price decides to go. If we throw that on here and say, okay, let's do the same thing with Solana. If price was to drop from here and it drops 40%, that's between the 1 and the 1.618 here. So if Bitcoin drops 23%, maybe Solana drops 40, and then boom, we're in between the 1 and the 1.618, which is where price likes to retrace for a wave 5, meaning the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So that would line up with my thesis. Do we see that? Possible. But only time's going to tell. And based on that smaller time frame move, that's more of a shorter time frame move. And then for me, my next target on Solana is 524. I want to see what this actually looks like. So if we did drop to $70, that would be a retrace to the 0.786 right here, which would coincide with the one between the 1 and 1.618 here. So that would make sense. It would be a deep retracement wave too, but then after that, 524. Sparsh, what's going on? Howdy, how are you? Is that a cowboy? What? Oh, I thought that was a cowboy emoji. What if it gets invalidated? Then we'll have to reevaluate the structure. I mean, it would be a very interesting structure at that point. We would still have a wave A. I mean, we can look at it just for I guess shits and giggles, but let's go to the weekly so then we can just have everything in screen here. But so far, I mean, we've had an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. We've had an ABC, and then an ABC, and then an ABC for a B wave. It's just a multiple wave move for wave B. That's all it is. And then we're in the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're in the 5th. I mean, if the wave 1 gets invalidated, then, this could be the bottom for wave C. And it's possible. But based on the structure, I mean, it could have bottomed at the 0.5 here. But I do think we see one more drop lower just based on the structure. It's possible, but structure, I would lean more towards a dip lower just based on the structure. But if we do get invalidated, then, you know, the price could be bottomed and we have to reevaluate structure and just take it from there. I'm only going off of what I have right now, is kind of what I'm going with. What are your thoughts on H-bar? I like H-bar. I do. We can take a look at H-bar. What is that? Gavs Dab, what's up, man? How are you? What's your opinion on chances Bitcoin does or doesn't go to 87 and breaks the 50? What's up, Triple D? I mean, my opinion based on it, just like, if you look at this structure just like as clear as day, right? Like you just take it for what it is. You don't put any sort of bias on it or anything, right? In this wave one, we have let me turn off the magnet tool so it doesn't interfere with the stuff. So you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you have an ABC. Then you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you have this complex 4. And then now what we have is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So like structurally wise, in order to complete a 5-wave move on the 5th, we need to have this be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So chances wise, I would put a stronger probability based on structure that we get one more dip down, less probability that we continue to pump up. If we go to 87, I mean, it's not off the table, but as long as we stay below the 87,193 number for the start of wave one, like basically as long as we stay below this last dip right here, that for me structurally wise is leaning towards one leg lower. I mean, we can see at the 0.618 we're at 78k, the 0.786 is like 84, so there's still levels that have to be breached in order to, you know, kind of validate a potential invalidation, because from what I could tell, a lot of this is driven by leverage long plays moving up as opposed to spot buying, which, you know, if we get a dip, it could cause a liquidation event, which drives some of these, which is kind of what you saw back here with Bitcoin when we were looking at this wave 3. Like this drop just was super quick, right? And I remember during this period of time, it was like every 20 minutes watching Guru was sending out like 500 million longs have been liquidated, you know, 200 billion longs have been, or you know, long trades have been liquidated in the past 20 minutes. Like there was just all these leverage plays getting wiped out. And if that happens again, we could get another, you know, liquidation to the downside. People get too caught up with leverage. It just, you're going to get wiped out if you don't know what you're doing. Please check Solana. We are all looking for it. Oh yeah, I mean, Solana for me, again, just following Bitcoin. A lot of these altcoins are going to follow Bitcoin. It's just the nature of sort of the crypto market. Anytime Bitcoin dips, you know, altcoins dip even further. If Bitcoin goes down 5%, you know, Ethereum and Solana could go down, you know, 10%. So from a structural standpoint, it looks very similar to Bitcoin. We have like an A wave, then we have this A, B, C wave for a B, and then we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure down. Once we complete the bottom here for Solana, my next target's 524. So if we bottom between the 1 and the 1.618, a good zone for Solana is between $67 and $51. And then my next target's 524. And again, I know everyone asks, well, how long will it take to get that? I know everyone wants to get rich quick. I get it. I understand. But getting rich quick is not the goal. The goal is to make smart investment decisions. And asking about time is like, no one knows. No one knows timing-wise. You can only use the data that you have at your fingertips. And time-wise is so hard to predict. It could happen in 6 months. It could happen in a year. It could happen in 2 years. But if you're saying to me, I want to park my money here, you know, say Solana dipped to the 1.236, we don't see the 1.618, and you get in at Solana at $60. And this thing pumps up to between the 1.618 and the 2 up here, and you take profits at $600. That's a 10x trade, right? From 61 to 600. You're telling me you can't wait 3 years for that? Like, you can't, if you put $1,000 here and you turn that into 10,000, you're telling me you can't wait 2 years for that? I mean, that to me is just very greedy. So I know that might sound harsh to hear, but you don't just find 10x trades off the mill. They don't come willy-nilly. There's a lot of hard work, discipline, and strategy that you have to have when it comes to trading, when it comes to investing. If you don't have a good mindset, you're going to get wrecked every single time, because you're going to buy tops and sell bottoms. And focus less on time, focus more on a strategy is what I could offer as a piece of advice. Let me scroll back up here. Cardano. Yeah, we can look at Cardano. Actually, Cardano's an interesting one, so we can look at Cardano. What's up, Daniel? I made it tonight. Welcome in. Welcome in. How are you? Let's see. I'm trying to scroll. Okay, I got that comment. Who has that much patience? People that make money in the markets have that much patience. Carl said, you know how bullish trends work, right? Gab's dad, thank you for the roses. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Carl. I must have missed when that comment came in. Are you referring to Bitcoin or Solana? Or I don't really know what that comment was about. So if you could provide some context, that'd be great. Bashar, hey Nick, how does Elliott Wave Theory take into account market cap? So Elliott Wave Theory, like, it's not designed for really volatile small cap tokens. Again, I don't think there's any strategy in the world that DraftKings, we can look at DraftKings. There's really no strategy that I know of that can factor in volatility. Like, volatility is both a good thing because it allows you to capture big moves, but it's also a hard thing because you get these super volatile, like 10, 20, 30% swings up and down, which is very hard, where you have more established tokens like Solana, Ethereum, XRP that follow Elliott Wave Theory with a higher like confluence. Whereas if you take a look at, like, I don't know, what's a small cap token? Let's go to crypto. Like, I'll just scroll down. See, like, if you look at a small cap token that has like no price history, trying to find something that has, what is this? Grass? Well, that's a perpetual future contract. I'll just keep scrolling down. Maybe there's some low market cap shitters down here. But like, it's very hard to factor in volatility. I don't know. There's really no, let's do like, I'm trying to think of a meme coin that is like, you can't use Elliott Wave Theory on a meme coin. Like, it's so tough. Unless things have big market caps, it's very hard to be able to, trying to see if I can do, I don't know, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Aster has no price history. What is that one? ASTER? Yeah, like this, for example. Like, it's a brand new token, right? Like, this, you can't use Elliott Wave Theory on this. Like, there's really no structure. It's just straight down. Now, what you can do is wait for structure to develop and say, okay, now that we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move, then what you can wait for is an ABC correction, and then get in on the ABC correction and then ride up the next wave. That is what you can do with tokens like this. So thank you for sharing that. But it's like, when you have highly volatile tokens, it doesn't really work for that. It's more geared for things that have longer price history, bigger market caps, more established, lesser volatility. It works a lot better. Really, yeah, my next target on Solana is 524 at the 1.618. You think it goes down even more than it already is? That's insane. No, well, it's just based on the strategy. Not saying you're insane, but people are going to lose it. No, I get it, Carson. I definitely do. And hey, I don't want to be the bearer of the bad news, right? With some of this stuff, like, I just go based on structure. Like, it has nothing to do with my opinion. It's just based on the structure and what Elliott Wave Theory is next. Like, with the one that I really like right now is Robinhood. Honestly, the structure looks very clean. Cardano. That's what we're going to look at. I'll jump to Robinhood later, but Robinhood looks very clean. I want to say we did Cardano before. Let me see. That's right. So Cardano is just in a wave 2. So we're just waiting for price action to develop off of these lows. the structure right now, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5. And then we're in this, basically this complex wave 2. We haven't had any impulses yet because you can't say this is a wave 1 followed by a wave 2 followed by a wave 3, because this price action right here has declined lower than the starting point of the starting point of wave 1. So this can't be a wave 4, and then this can't be a wave 1 because price action is retraced lower than that. It's also retraced lower than this price action right here. So Cardano right now is just in a wave 2, and it almost looks like this really complex structure. We almost have like an A, B, and then an A, B, C, A wave, and then we have an A, B, C, B wave, and then we have this sort of A wave, B wave, and this next A, B, C wave. So it almost looks like we have a wave A, a wave B, and then a wave C. It's just a very complex one. But my next target on Cardano is $5 based on the current price action we have available to us. In order for this to not be valid, price on Cardano would have to retrace lower than the starting point down here, which was, what's that? 1 cent. So as long as price stays above 1 cent down here at the starting point of this initial 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up, as long as we stay above this, this is just a corrective 2. So we have the wave 1, the 2, and then the 3 is next. My next target on Cardano is $5. So that's my $5.19, and right at the 1.618. But we're just in a wave 2. So we're waiting for price action to develop like this. We're waiting for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up off of these lows. But the next target based on the structure is $5. VeChain, yeah, we can look at VeChain. Why do I keep putting my finger in the thing? Because I'm holding this phone trying to scroll. So you think it is invalidated already? On Bitcoin, no, we haven't invalidated anything on Bitcoin yet. Best price to dollar cost average for Cardano. I mean, right now the price action, again, with higher volatile tokens like this that have like complex corrective structures, it's very hard to time bottoms. With Bitcoin, with like, SPU, even with that, we can develop complex structures, which is what we're in right now for this subwave 4. It's a very complex subwave 4, which makes it very hard to time, or predict perfect bottoms. But based on this structure right now, we've already retraced it, way past the 0.786. So from a value standpoint, we're already deeply discounted. So it's just a matter of, okay, does Cardano have one more leg lower with Bitcoin? Probably. If Bitcoin declines 20%, this could, maybe have one more dip lower. So taking a bite at it right now. And then the way that I look at it with altcoins specifically, because they are more volatile, it's harder to track some of these complex structures, is there's so much FOMO around altcoins, right? Because they move so quickly. You may not get in here and then the thing rips 50%. So the best strategy, at least what I do for altcoins, is just identify big value discounts based on the structure. So after this, right, you have this A wave, B wave, C wave. Okay, I'm going to take a position here because we have a 3-wave move down. That's a corrective structure. We're at a deep discount. I'll take a position here. Then what does price do? Well, it runs up to, what was that? 24 cents to almost $1. So that's what, almost a 4 or 5x. You could have taken profits there, had a nice 5x trade from the bottom. But then again, you look at the structure, we have an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. Okay, now what do we do? Do we take some profits? Do we wait? Okay, now price has an A wave, a B wave, a C wave. We're at a big discount. All right, I'm going to take another position here, add to my bag that I added here. And then what if we get another A wave, sort of B wave, C wave, and then another A, B, C down? Okay, I'll take another position here, and then I'll ride it up to $5. So it's just a matter of dipping in at big value discounts. And for what it's worth, Cardano is at a pretty big discount. So me personally, I track more of Bitcoin than I do altcoins. So when Bitcoin makes its, because the structure on Bitcoin is easier to analyze because it's less volatile than like Cardano and some of these other altcoins. But when Bitcoin drops, 10%, altcoins will drop 20. Okay, based on the structure of Bitcoin, we're due for a wave 4 and a wave 5. When the wave 5 happens, I'm expecting altcoins to dip, so I'll take a position. So I would just wait for Bitcoin to make a drop. That's what I'm personally doing. So I'm looking at VeChain as a position I want to add. Based on the structure with VeChain, we have a really clean wave 1 up and then this big ABC correction. My next target on VeChain is 43 cents. So from current levels, I don't know what that multiple is. Again, I wouldn't risk more than 1 to 2% of your overall portfolio for VeChain. But the risk to reward looks really good. They got some good fundamentals going for them. And until this price down here is broken, we're just in a wave 2. So we have the wave 1, the wave 2, and the wave 3 targets, the 1.618. For me, I didn't buy VeChain here. I would have, but I just took positions in other tokens. But you can see on this structure, we have an A wave, a B wave, and then we have this ABC, and then another ABC, and then this next wave down. So there's just multiple 3-wave movements. But after you see this big ABC for 2022, take a position. Okay, I bought it at a big discount. I rode that up from 1 cent all the way to, almost 7 cents. That's a 7x on your money. Take a little bit of profits there. And then if it, continues ripping, take some more profits. All about having a strategy. So take profits on the way up. Don't try to time the top perfectly, and then dollar cost average on the bottom. Don't try to time the bottom perfectly, and you'll do it perfectly fine. But here for me is a really good discount for VeChain. I really like the discount here. And then EOS is another one I'm looking at as well. So EOS, from a risk to reward standpoint, also looks really good. My next target on EOS is right around $2. Based on this big 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move and then this ABC move. And you can see on EOS, we've already had an ABC big value discount. I'm going to take a position here. And then if we get, another ABC off these lows, then another ABC lower, I'll just take another position here. So that's kind of how I play altcoins, is don't try to time the bottoms perfectly, just take it in chunks. So I'll buy a position here and then I'll hold till $2. If we get an ABC off the low and then another ABC lower, and then we get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to $2, I can wait this out because I'll take a position here and then I'll take a position here and then wait. It's not about getting rich quick. It's about making money. There is no bear market. Bitcoin is going to new all-time high. Yeah, my next target on Bitcoin's 200K. So I'm not bear market for the next year. I am just short-term downside because of the structure. So when you look at Bitcoin structure, if I can get this thing to work, if you look at Bitcoin structure, we're still due for one leg lower to the 60 to 50K region. We still have the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and then we need the 5th. Once the 5th is complete, 200K is my next target. If it follows your prediction to 50K, I'll be dropping 10 galaxies on your live. You don't have to do that. I mean, while I would be greatly appreciative of it, you don't have to do that. But I think, again, I'm putting myself out there, guys. It's not easy putting yourself out there against the grain and taking the criticism, but it honestly is a great learning lesson. So you got to take the criticism because you're going to get praise, you're going to get critics, regardless if you're right or wrong. But in order to, document these things, I have to put myself out there and be willing to risk. I don't know what I'm not really risking anything, but it's like I'm putting myself out there doing this and documenting it and showcasing it. And I could be wrong, but I could be right. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to be able to document the whole process. But based on the structure, we do have one more leg lower. And that hasn't changed for months now. I mean, right now, 60 to 50K between the 1 and 1.618. It doesn't necessarily have to hit the 1.618. What we'll have is price action that develops like this. We'll have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However deep that goes will be determined by these subwaves of the 5. So we could have a really deep wave 1 with a deep wave 2, and then another deep wave 3 with a shallow 5, something like that. So it's just going to depend on how price action moves down, but 60 to 50K is my zone. But I'll take that galaxy if you decide to get to donate the galaxy. But my question is, what could cause the drop? There needs to be a big cause, and I can't see what. So I get this all the time. Again, for me, news is just a narrative. Price and technicals, for me, always lead, and I'll tell you why. So when it was back in December, right, when we had this price action, we had this, chip chop wave 4. I was saying back in the beginning of December, I think it was back here, like December 6th or something, somewhere in this region is when I started first posting TikTok content on like on crypto stocks, you know, related stuff. I put it off for like 3-4 months. I just didn't want to put myself out there, but I said, screw it, I want to do it. So I started posting content back in December. And at this point in time, I was saying, guys, we're due for a wave 5 lower. What I had identified on the time frame was the wave 1, the wave 2, the wave 3, the wave 4, and then the wave 5. And during this period of time, we had a lot of people saying the bottom was in, the bear market's not coming, you know, you're wrong, we're going to pump to 100K. We were close, right? We got up to, what, 98K, so we were close. People started getting very loud in this position, and they were saying, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. But structurally wise, we had the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and we were due for a final leg 5. Then what happened was we had Epstein files released, we had the government shutdown, we had a bunch of things happen during this drop. And what people were telling me is they would come to my videos or comments, or I would see it on there, is like, hey, the reason Bitcoin's price is dropping is because of the Epstein files, the negative news, the government shutdown. They were using news to justify why the price was dipping. But I was saying this back in December, like a month before it actually happened, we're due for a drop because of the structure and because of the technicals. So while I agree news has its play, for me it's just an after effect, and then people use news to justify why price does what it does. So whatever happens in the next 1 to 2 months for this wave 5 to complete, right? Whatever happens for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete, there's probably going to be some sort of negative news article or something that comes out. You know, say Powell, again, tomorrow's FOMC, so that'll bring volatility. We'll see what Jerome Powell says tomorrow on the FOMC meeting at 2. We got PPI data tomorrow. We'll see what that, you know, comes in at, whatever they decide to put that in at. But whatever news article comes out, people are going to say, well, the reason price is dropping is because PPI data was higher than expected, because Jerome Powell was more hawkish on interest rates, and he hinted that we might have to actually raise interest rates, not lower them, or whatever they say, right? That they will use the news to justify this move, when I'm saying it's just because of the structure. So while I think that that has a play and a place, for me, it's more of an after effect. What about XRP? My next target on XRP is... XRP is a pretty good one too. It follows Elliott Wave Theory pretty well. But XRP for me, we have sort of this structure right here. So we have the wave 1, we have the big ABC2, and then we're starting the 3. Now, of the wave 3, when we go into this, let me zoom in on it. When we go into the wave 3, just specifically this wave right here, let me move the other ones out of the way so they're not distracting. So of this wave 3, so far we've had the initial wave 1, we're in the ABC2, we'll get a wave 3 to about $6, then we'll get a wave 4, and then a wave 5. So this will be the wave 3 of 3, this will be the wave 4 of 3, and then this will be the wave 5 of 3. That's essentially what's next for XRP. Is we had a really big explosive wave 1 right here, right? We had this big wave 1 followed by this 3-wave ABC. We should get another wave 3 up to about 1.618. It also can extend to the 2.618, just depending on how impulsive price gets. The only way we're going to know if that happens or not is what happens off of these lows. If we get a massive wave 1 with a wave 2, to me, we should get an extended 3, 4, and then a 5. So we could very much bypass these targets, but realistically speaking, the next high probable target is the 1.618, which is where price likes to go for the wave 3, which is right at like $6. So that's my next target on XRP, is $6. Cosmosis. I think we looked at Cosmosis yesterday. We can look at Cosmosis. Did you already do H-bar? No. Well, we did H-bar yesterday. I'm pretty sure everything's saved. So H-bar should be, yeah, H-bar is kind of like XRP. So it's very similar. I just have it drawn out different. So XRP, right, we had the wave 1, the wave 2, and then we're in this, wave 3 now. So we've had the initial wave 1 followed by the ABC2. The wave 3 is next to about 65 cents. Again, it can extend just depending on how explosive price gets in the wave 3. We could go to 0.79. We could also get to $1 at the 2.618. That's not off the table. Typically, price likes to go for the 2 or the 1.618 in wave 3. So anywhere between like 65 and 80 cents is the next target for this wave. Then we'll get a pullback 4 and then one more leg up for the 5. But 65 cents is my next target. Oh, wow. 94 messages. Okay, this is going to... I'm probably going to miss a lot of y'all's messages. I apologize. Let me see. What's up, healthcare? How are you? Nick accepts donations in the form of Melania coin or Farcoin. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, send me all your Farcoin. Anything above 73k is only up. I mean, I disagree with that just based on the structure. Greedy works both ways. Yes, 100%. But structurally, it works both ways as well. So yes, I agree that there is greed in the market, but it's also just based on the structure. And the structure is suggesting one more leg down. MSTR. MSTR is actually one of the stocks that I'm looking at getting into. And the reason behind it is just, again, structurally wise. So we have a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and a wave 5, and then this ABC corrective for MSTR. And for me, the zones that I'm looking at right now for MSTR, we've had the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and then for me, we're due for one more leg lower on MSTR. And the reason behind that is, as long as this price doesn't get invalidated, which is just kind of a waiting game at this point, for me, the wave 1 happens right here. So as long as we don't pump over 156, this for me is a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. We're in a corrective 4, and then we should get one more leg lower for MSTR. If we pump over 156, then again, that wave 1 would be invalidated, which would mean this isn't a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure. But my next target on MSTR on a longer time frame, for this being the wave 1, this is the ABC2, and then the 3 is 962. That's my next target on MSTR is 962. I am waiting for one more dip on MSTR. If it doesn't go to my targets, I just won't get in and I'll allocate my funds elsewhere. But for me, the next target when Bitcoin makes its dip, MSTR should make its dip. And then the next target for me is 962. Steve said, nobody knows what will happen to the market. Stop acting like a pro. No, thank you. I will not answer that question because it's not relevant. Oh, T, thanks for the heart. I appreciate that. Hey, Nick and Nick's wifey. How's it going, T? How's your day going? St. Patrick's Day, hope is treating all of y'all well. I don't know if you guys are Guinness fans or Irish whiskey fans, but enjoy it. Enjoy it. You don't have to drink. I'm not promoting drinking. I'm just saying, a nice Guinness every now and then helps. Tastes good. I like it. Let's see. What do we got here? Can you show me what direction for gold? We did gold. Actually, gold is topped. We can look at Chainlink. Actually, I have everything done on Chainlink. I'm pretty sure everything's... Yeah, Chainlink, for me, the next target is $90 for Chainlink. We have a wave 1 here, the wave 2, and then we're in the wave 3. So for me, $90 is next. This for me was the initial wave 1, and then we have this A, B, C, D, E wave 2, and then $90 is next for the completion of this being the wave 1, the wave 2. We've had the wave 1, the 2, we should get a 3, 4, and then a 5 up to $90. That's my next target on Chainlink. But yeah, we can look at gold, because gold to me, like if we look at gold, you'll see it. Bluetooth transfer or airdrop for the Farcoin. I'll send you my Fartcoin address. We can airdrop some tokens. What's up, Logan? How are you? F? Yeah, F looks pretty good too. Um, F looks really good as well. We have a really massive multi-year wave 5 on it. You can see we had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're currently in the next structure. And for me, all this is corrective. So we had this A wave, B wave, C wave, then another A, B, C, A, another A, B, C, B, and then this C wave, and then we have another A wave, B wave, C wave. The real true impulsive wave, if you look at it on the smaller time frame, is this right here. There's a 5-wave movement up, which for me is the start of an impulse. So we have the impulsive wave 1, we're in the 2, and then the next target for me on Ethereum is 7,300. Yeah, so my next target on Ethereum, 7,300. Cosmosis. I think we looked at Cosmosis the other day. Cosmosis. Or wait, let me just do Atom US. Isn't it ATOMUSD? Is it the spot crypto we looked at? Yeah, I mean, again, with Cosmosis, we're very deep retrace wave 2, but we have a 5-wave movement on it. We have a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and then a wave 5. And then we have this massive A wave, this A, B, C, B wave, and this other A wave, B wave, and then what looks to be an A, B, C. Again, Elliott Wave Theory is geared for higher market cap tokens. I think Cosmosis is in the top 50, so it has a decent market cap. But this being the wave 1, the deep retrace wave 2, my next target on it is the 1.618 at $71, which is, I mean, that's a 60x from here, which is insane to think about. I don't know too much about the fundamentals of the project of Cosmosis, so I think Mark Cuban had like talked about it or something, but from a structure standpoint, we have a big wave 1, a deep retrace wave 2, and then for me the wave 3 is next at the 1.618. As long as this price holds down here, as long as what is that, $1.08, as long as price stays above $1.08, the next move is up. If price were to go down below $1.08, then this whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move with the 1.618 being next would be invalidated. So this wouldn't be a wave 1 and a wave 2. What we would wait for then is if 1.08 was invalidated, we'd have to wait for another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move off the low. But until then, the high probable target is the 1.618 $71. Which is crazy to think about Cosmosis doing a 60x, but structurally wise, that's what it looks like. Let me see. So if MSCR invalidates, then what is the next target? 953 still would be the next target. The reason behind that is if price continues to move the way that it's moving, like if it does invalidate, this right here is going off of this low. So 961 would actually be the target, 961, and this would be a wave 1 and then a wave 2, and then 961 would be next. It would just invalidate the structure that I'm looking at, meaning on the daily, it would mean that I am wrong, and this structure from this being an A wave, a B wave, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move down would be basically invalidated. And it would mean that this was the bottom and we're continuing to pump up. From what I'm seeing on the price right now, again, 156 might potentially get tapped. I mean, it's at 150, right? Like it's pretty close. But if I'm looking at this, it would just mean that I would have to reevaluate this wave count, because if I'm looking at it here, this is definitely a wave 1 for MSTR, because we have this wave 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then 5. Or no, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a wave 2, and then a 1, 2, 3. Shit, I don't want to lock that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And then this could be the A wave, the B wave, the C wave, and then the wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From what I'm looking at on this, it just looks like a slow grind upwards. There's really no impulses, which means that price is kind of just chopping. it looks very similar to Bitcoin, right? Like there's no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move off the lows. Even on the smaller time frame, it just looks like an A wave, a B wave, a C wave, an A wave, B wave, C wave, an A wave, a B wave, a C wave. So it just looks very like corrective in the sense that 3-wave movements are corrective, 5-wave movements are impulsive. But it could mean that the wave 1 was actually back here at 158. I would have to analyze this wave 1 on the smaller time frame. But if it does get invalidated, this could potentially be the bottom, but it also could mean my wave count is off and I have to drop down on really, really small time frames and reanalyze this current wave count. But until further notice, this is standing. Let's see. Yeah, about 950 is my next target on MSTR. What up, brother? Doing good, Logan. How are you? Adam is the one, but Dot is better. Oh yeah, we got to check out Dot. That was right. You had mentioned Dot. From what I could tell the last time we looked at Polkadot, it looked to be just in corrective movement. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely got some fundamental things, like, you know, with the upgrade of Polkadot. I think they upgraded things. So from a fundamental standpoint, it's doing pretty good. But on an Elliott Wave standpoint, this can't be a Wave 1 and a Wave 2 because price has already invalidated the starting point of Wave 1. So what we're waiting for, healthcare, is we're waiting for an initial Wave 1 off the low. And on the smaller time frame, we'll go to like the daily time frame, and we should see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave movement like this. And then we'll get an ABC. And then after this ABC, we'll chart out the next targets. But fundamentally wise, Dot's got, you know, good things going for it. But once it gets the wave 1 and the wave 2, we'll be able to plot out the wave 3, and then we'll get the wave 4 and then the wave 5. Do we go back to all-time highs? It's hard to tell based on the structure. If this wave 2 would have stopped, you know, right here, then we could have used this as the wave 1, the wave 2 here, and then the wave 3 would have targeted, you know, whatever the 1.618 extension was. But since price retraced lower than this starting point, there's really no telling of what is kind of next. We just have to let price action unfold. Is Hood going to 63 or 80 is the bottom? We can look at Sparsh. I'm going to look at Hood every single day. I want to say that Algorand is the same thing. I like the team behind Algorand too. Yeah, Algorand's like the same thing as Polkadot. Like, you see how it has these big wave 1s, and then we just kind of retrace lower than the starting point of this wave 1. So for me, we're just waiting for impulses off the low for Algorand. Once we get the 1, the 2, we can chart out the 3. But until further notice, Algorand is still kind of in corrective movement. Is ETH dropping to 1,200 if Bitcoin goes down? Doesn't that mean... I mean, my next targets on Ethereum were 1,700 to 1,400. That was my next targets on Ethereum. And then 7,500. Does Elliott Wave account for Black Swan events, or what if moves get invalidated? So it's really hard to predict like Black Swan events. Elliott Wave is, again, like a guide. It's not picture perfect, right? It's not going to be... great session. Thank you. Absolutely, Gus. Absolutely. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you joining. As far as like strategy goes, like there's no strategy that I know of that can predict black swans. That's why they're called, you know, black swans. And it just comes out of nowhere. And then price obviously reacts because of it. But typically, Elliott Wave Theory will provide you with some sort of gut. Is that a hat? Oh, I didn't have it flipped. Let me flip it real quick. So this is the book that I recommend to everyone. You know, if you want to look at it, Elliott Waves Made Simple by Steve Sinclair. For those of you on YouTube, Elliott Waves Made Simple by Steve Sinclair. I recommend this book to everyone. Ooh, the hat. Thank you, Earthly. I appreciate that. But no strategy that I know of can predict black swans. That's why they're called black swans. And it can provide a guide, like for sure. You can kind of see where price is going to go, but it's very variable. LL, you have to be trolling here. You have to be trolling with that comment. Let's see. I love when people come in here and even on my comments on my videos, when they throw in hateful comments or stuff, I just know that they are all sidelined. You can stay sidelined. I don't really care. How often do invalidations occur? I mean, it's possible. Actually on SoFi, one of my invalidations just occurred. So on SoFi, for example, I'll show you. on SoFi, we have this on the month, or let me go to the weekly. I'll show you on the weekly. So you on the weekly, when we're looking at SoFi, let me just try to get everything in the chart here. You can see down here at this, everyone might say, well, isn't this the wave 1, the wave 2, the wave 3, 4, and 5? If you look at this structure, like there's really nothing impulsive about it. Like even on the daily, it just doesn't look impulsive here. The first impulse for me was the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the wave 1. I mean, technically, I guess you can make, I mean, usually, oh, so maybe my wave count could be off for SoFi. Again, I did it on stream, so we were kind of evaluating it on stream. I mean, this, I mean, maybe is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, technically speaking, that could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, but the reason that it can't be that is, that's why. Okay, that's why. Because if you have this being the wave 1, this the wave 2, the wave 3, and then the wave 4, well, you'll see it right here, healthcare. If this was the wave 1, right? Like you had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you had the wave 2, then the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 3. What did price do next? Well, it came under the territory of this wave 4. So it can't, this can't be a wave 4, and this can't be a wave 1. So what do you do then? Okay, let's identify another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zone, and that for me was this. So we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moving up. We had an ABC corrective down. Then we had another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moving up. Then an ABC corrective down. And price has already retraced lower than the top of, or it's like right there. It kind of rejected at it. I mean, it's like right there. Like it's like right on. I mean, there's some rules around price can technically tap it, you know, so it technically maybe is not invalidated, but like price is pretty damn close, right? I mean, we hit that zone and then we immediately popped up. There are some exceptions for Elliott Wave Theory when price does retrace into the wave 4. It just can't go like pretty far down and then close below it and everything. So I guess technically it didn't invalidate. I wasn't looking at the candle close. I was looking more so at the price tapping it. There's some exceptions. So with this being said, maybe it's not invalidated. So my words came out before looking at this on the daily chart to see when that price action closed, because we did get a nice pop up from it. But if price was to continue to come lower and, you know, close 1 candle, then 2 candle, then 3 candle, then yeah, 100%. SoFi would be invalidated for this 5-wave move. But it happens. It happens occasionally. What's up, Gerald? Good morning from Asia. What's going on? Sui actually looks really clean too. We can look at Sui. Miko said bro is bullish now. I don't know what you mean, Miko. I don't know what, I'm not sure what you're referring to. What's the name of the book again? Just start screaming if trolls say things. No, I like them because they boost my algorithm. Elliott Waves Made Simple, Master Elliott Waves Techniques in Less Than 48 Hours by Steve Sinclair. That's the book. Elliott Waves Made Simple. And for those of you on YouTube, Elliott Waves Made Simple, Steve Sinclair. Great book. $10 on Amazon. It's like 90 pages. You can knock the book out in like 2 days. All right, yeah, we'll go to gold. We'll go to gold. You think Diver going down? What is Diver a token or a stock? I'm not sure. You might be hurting some people. I don't know how I'm hurting anyone. If anything, I'm helping. So thank you for your comment. People watching TikTok already accepted the risk. Yeah, and I like to say that I'm helping, but you know, hey, take my word for a grain of salt. If you don't agree, great. If you agree, great. I don't really care. You see SoFi today? Yeah, I mean, SoFi had a good bounce. My next target on SoFi for this wave 5 is right at like $38. That's my next target on SoFi is $38. For Eth, are we going lower first on daily time? I do see one more leg lower on Ethereum first, and then 7,500 next. On gold, what was it? XAU USD. Yes, there we are. All right, so if we look at gold on a 3-month, like a really, really long time frame, you can see on gold, I'll dive into it in a second. But on gold, I just want to make sure everything gets in the chart. Let me move this. Let me change this color to, let's change that to white. All right, so on gold on a massive time frame, we have this wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're currently in the 5th. And then if we look at it on the monthly time frame on the 5th leg, you can see it a little bit clearer. So on gold, for this wave 4, which happened back in 2015, we have the wave 1, the wave 2, the wave 3, the wave 4, and then we have this blow off top wave 5. Now, in the wave 5, what we have so far. So we're in the wave 5 of the wave 5 on gold. And what we've had so far on gold is a 1, 2, a 3 here, a 4 here, and then a blow off top 5. And on this, so we're in like a 5th leg of a 5th leg of a 5th leg. Like there's so many, it's like Inception. There's like waves inside of waves. But this is the 5th leg of the entire 3-month move. Then this is the 5th leg of the monthly move. And then if you go down to the weekly of this 5th leg, so this move right here, we've already had a wave 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. So gold for me is already topped. Everything fulfills the rules of Elliott Wave Theory. We're at wave 5 of wave 5 of wave 5. Every which way that you look at it, gold is topped. Now, I wouldn't go throwing a ton of money at gold. Me personally, that's not what I would do. But from the next target of gold, I have that falling between the 0.382 and the 0.618. So we'll get basically an ABC correction. Somewhere between $4,000 to $3,000. That's what's next for gold. So take that with what you will. If you FOMO bought the top, not necessarily the best decision. That's why you got to take your emotions out of trading. You got to take your bias out of trading. You also have to take the news out of trading. The news is not on your side. The news puts out articles for investment companies for them to sell to you. You are the exit liquidity. So they're putting out, maybe gold makes one more, wave higher, but that would be an A wave and then a B wave higher, and then we get a C wave. However you chop this thing up, gold is due for a correction somewhere between 4,000 to 3,000. That would be sweet if all that gold money flowed into crypto. That is now you are thinking outside the box, Matt, and that's how I'm thinking, because everyone is saying, well, if you look at SPY, I'll show you. So gold, we've already seen gold, right? We're due for an ABC between the 0.382. Hold on, TikTok has me complete this puzzle thing. Give me a second. All right. So there's the puzzle piece for TikTok Live. We're going to get an ABC correction on gold. Now, if you look at SPY, that also is in the final leg 5. We have a wave 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. Now, what's next for SPY? Well, SPY will fall between the 0.382 and the 0.618. Best case scenario, you get a 0.236 correction, but that still is 585. If you get a best case sort of correction, you get the 0.382. Then you get the 0.5 or the point somewhere between 500 and 400 is next for SPY. Again, there's upside is limited based on this wave 5 structure on the smaller time frame. It's so confusing. It just looks like one big fucking banana. But upside is limited on SPY because we've already had a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, and we're currently in the 5th. So if SPY decides to make one more high and then we dip, doesn't matter. The better risk to reward is wait until we get the ABC down. Somewhere between 0.382 to 0.618. That is a better risk to reward option to buy than buying at the top of a 5th wave. You don't want to buy at the top of the 5th wave. You don't want to get greedy. You don't want to get FOMO. Even if SPY pumps to 744 and you're like, well, hey, Nick, I missed the move from 670 to 744. Like, what the hell? You're telling me that SPY's dropping. What's going on here? That's a mini move. This little small move is peanuts compared to an ABC correction to, say we get the correction to the 0.5 at 450. The next move after that from 450 at the 0.5 is this. Is all the way up to 1200. So yeah, you can play with this little move up, but I personally would wait for an ABC down to 450 and then ride the next 5-wave move, meaning wave 1, a wave 2, and then a wave 3. And what we'll get off these lows is another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave move. That is a better risk to reward than trying to buy here and time the top. This, to me, just looks like a top. So you have that. Then if you look at NASDAQ, same shit. I think it was the futures one on NASDAQ. Hold on. Let me zoom in on this fifth leg. Same thing on NASDAQ. You have a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and a wave 5. Now, on NASDAQ, what's the better risk to reward trade? Are you going to buy the fifth wave or wait for an ABC correction, then buy down here? For me, I would wait for the correction because buying in fifth waves is risky. You're already at a fifth wave. Upside is limited because we've already completed 5 waves. If you would have said, well, I'm going to buy at the top of wave 3, you're not necessarily wrong. You can buy at the top of wave 3. You might get a correction, but realistically, you'll get one more pump lower. It's less risky to buy at the top of wave 3. It is also less risky to buy at the top of wave 1. But buying at the top of wave 5 carries more risk because you're due for an ABC correction down. For me, NASDAQ should correct anywhere between 20,000 to 16,000 and then make another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up. So you have NASDAQ topping, you have SPY topping, and you have gold topping, and copper also looks like it has a similar structure to gold. Where's that money going to go? They're going to seek assets to put it in. Where are they going to put it in? Well, what's undervalued right now? Crypto. If you look at crypto, what's the only asset right now that's down like 50 to 90%, depending on which asset you look at? I mean, Bitcoin's down like 50% from all-time highs. Where's, Solana? What's Solana down? What's Solana down from all-time highs right now? Solana's down. What's the current price right now? So we had a little bit of a pump. Solana's down 67% from all-time high, and Ethereum, whatever, it's down. But you get my drift. Crypto is undervalued right now. Every retail trader has FOMO'd into gold, FOMO'd into silver, FOMO'd into copper. Not necessarily FOMO'd into SPY and NASDAQ because those are part of a lot of people's 401ks, so they kind of just dollar cost average. There's no real timing with that type of stuff, while also there is retail trading of it and people trade options or whatever. For the majority, I've been seeing a lot of people just FOMO into gold and precious metals, which look to be topped. Where is the undervalued market right now? Capital always flows. They're not going to sell gold and then put it into a bank account. They're going to they're going to park the money somewhere. Where are they going to park it? To me, it's crypto. It's so undervalued. You have Bitcoin down 50% from all-time highs. Solana down 67%. XRP's kind of held pretty well, but you have a lot of other cryptos that are down 70, 80% to all-time highs with good fundamentals. Where do you think the money's going? That's just my opinion. Right now, I just have VeChain. Should I buy anything else right now? It depends on your risk tolerance, Red Cloak. It really depends on sort of your strategy, what your time horizon is, investment goals, like all that stuff. Me personally, I'm going to be buying VeChain here soon. But I would always, in my opinion, recommend having Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of the majors in your portfolio because they're less volatile and they'll continue to climb when some of the altcoins might take a little bit longer. So having exposure to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, some of the big dogs will always give you a good, balanced, well-managed risk to reward portfolio. And then throw in some altcoins in there too. Typically, the way that I structure my portfolio is 50% in Bitcoin. So I do 50% Bitcoin. I do about 20 to 30% in Ethereum. Another 10% in XRP, some of the big caps like Chainlink and things like that. But I just divvy it up in percentages. So I want my main portfolio to be Bitcoin. And then you can even throw Solana in with Ethereum. I would throw Solana, XRP, and Ethereum into like that 20 to 30% category. So if you have $10,000, 50% of it should be in Bitcoin, so $5,000. Put another $3,000 into XRP. Put $1,000 in XRP, $1,000 in Solana, $1,000 in Ethereum. That makes up 30% of your portfolio. So now you have $8,000 invested in high market cap, lower volatility tokens, which still outperform very well. People forget that Ethereum, what's next is like a 5x. I mean, that's a great trade. Put another 10 to 15% in like Chainlink, Sui, just pick the top 25 tokens, maybe top 50 tokens, put another 10 to 15% of your portfolio in there, divvy it up however you want, and then put another 5% in some low cap shitters. Pick, some really small market cap, like 200 million with good fundamentals that are going to outperform Bitcoin and Ethereum. But if it goes to zero, you're not risking your entire portfolio. Like if you put $100 into VeChain and that thing goes to zero, you still have another 80% in the majors. That's how I would do it. Yeah, gold has a big market cap. Yeah, once the Clarity Act clears, money is going to... Yeah, I mean, once the Clarity Act clears, it'll clear up a lot of the uncertainty in the market. 300K in... I mean, where you're at right now, sparse on Hood. Hood does look pretty good. Love the content. Any take on Doge? My next target on Doge, is funny enough, is $1. So that's my next target on Doge. You wouldn't consider Chainlink a big dog? Yes, I would. I just wouldn't consider it like an XRP. Well, I guess you could kind of throw it in there. I was thinking more for like Ethereum, XRP, Solana, just because they're like the top three like big tokens. I would put 30% in there, and then you could. It's borderline. It's borderline. I do think Chainlink has a lot going for it. It's a major market cap. It is kind of moving into that 30%, but I was just using a hypothetical example portfolio. Everyone's kind of different. And also it depends on your risk tolerance too. Some people can't tolerate risk in big swings. Like if the price goes like, big, 20% swing and then a 40% drop, people can't weather that and they'll sell. So it also depends on your risk tolerance as well. Fade gold, like, yeah, gold's topped. I wouldn't invest in gold. Saying Nick's education is hurting people is like blaming a straw for scratching your mouth. That's a good analogy, Healthcare. I'm gonna have to use that next time. Next time someone says something, I have to use that. Go scratch your mouth with a straw. That's hilarious. Just wondering, how did you realize the news articles are exit liquidity? Just by being the exit liquidity, by being part of the mob back in the day when I was learning trading and investing. Because I would look at news articles and you'd see like, whatever they do on those stock apps, they'll do like, so-and-so has raised the price target on, Robinhood to $45. They're bullish on, they gave it an A rating and then it goes to $45. You're like, oh, fuck, I need to invest now. It's at 45. Like, I need to invest now because they've raised the price target. Next thing you know, price dumps. And it's like, I don't know how accurate those freaking news articles are. And then you see like just history, just by being involved in it for so long. You look at where people put, like, if I Googled right now, let's do a thought experiment here. Oh, hold on. I hit that. That's my fault. Sorry, I hit my... I have this little tripod holding my phone. Let me make sure I can flip the camera and you can see my screen. Okay. So let's do a thought experiment here. Let's Google what is next for Bitcoin. See what comes up. Oh wait, let's see. Bitcoin bullish or bearish? Currently, Bitcoin is showing bearish. Oh, you can't even see that. Currently, Bitcoin is showing bearish sentiment in the market. Is what it's saying. Why? Get off this. Oh, there we go. Let's see. News. Bitcoin could drop 25% or jump. Welcome to crypto's 2026 grind. Bear market is not over. But 2022 bear market saw one too. It's kind of mixed right now, but you get the drift. Sometimes the news isn't on your side. That's all I'm trying to say. And why is this? Oh, it's this freaking tripod thing keeps hitting that. My apologies. But it just depends. Like, news articles aren't always on your side. I think I have a massive lag, LL. Thank you for doing this, Nick. You demand. Yeah, absolutely, Logan. Absolutely. Boom. You wouldn't consider Chainlink. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. Strong chance the act won't pass. What do you think? I think eventually it will. They're just going to go through all the negotiations of it, in my opinion, for the Clarity Act. They're going to go back and forth, you know, redline it, go through it, you know, find out things that people like, don't like. It eventually pass, but it'll probably take time. Whatever the news is saying, it's most likely going the opposite way. Yeah, I mean, news is very deceptive. That's the whole goal of it. The universe brought me here to tell you to give... Wait, the universe brought me here to tell you to give me 1 million? I don't know if you're trolling or not. That's funny. Yeah, Doge, my next target's $1. I mean, silver? What is silver? What's the symbol on silver? Is that what? I can't remember what the silver one is. What's up, Christian Cowboy? Sent me a heart. Thank you for the heart. Oh, GRT. Yeah, GRT is just incorrective. I own GRT from a fundamental standpoint. I bought down here for GRT, so this was the ABC wave. So I bought here. Again, timing high volatile tokens isn't always the easiest, but why does this look... Okay, there we go. So for me, GRT, I bought down here somewhere around like 6 cents, and then obviously price pumped, and then we got another A. It almost looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move down. But we have this ABC A wave, ABC B wave, then this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move down. So it does look like, you know, sort of a 3-wave, 5-wave. XAG, that's it. Okay, we'll do XAG next. But what I'm waiting for GRT is just impulses off these lows. But until then, it's just corrective. XAG USD, thank you, Fish and Matt. XAG USD. Is this the chart? Is this what the chart looks like? Or am I looking at the wrong one? I think that's what it looks like, or am I looking at a different one? I think that should be silver. I mean, on a 3... Let's go to the monthly time frame. I mean, on a monthly time frame, looks right. Okay. On a monthly time frame, we do have this massive wave 1 with this wave 2. And then we're kind of in the wave 3. I'm curious how far we've already extended. So, like, look at that. Price retraced to basically the between the 1.618 and the 2.618 for wave 3. So we had the wave 1, the wave 2, and then the wave 3, and then we should get a pullback 4 and then a 5. So essentially price will move like this. Now we can dissect this wave 3 to see kind of what we got next, but this is essentially the path of what silver is taking. The 1, the 2. We're in the wave 3. We kind of basically hit the 2.618, and then we should get a wave 4 and a wave 5. Now the question is, of this wave 3, how much more do we have? So let's see. Can I get everything in there? I mean, this definitely looks like a wave 1 and then a wave 2. Now, I mean, this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a 5-wave move right there. From here to here is a 5-wave move. But the question is, let me see monthly. Let me see what that looks like if I zoom in. On the monthly time frame. I mean, on the monthly time frame, it kind of looks like we have the 1, the 2. I mean, this almost looks like an extended 3. We should get a 4 and a 5 to complete the wave 3. That's kind of what it looks like, because I'm not really seeing any other structure in here that would that would kind of make sense. I mean, I'm definitely seeing a 5-wave move here pretty clearly on this. Like you can see the wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're in this ABC structure down. So the question is, unless this is all, I mean, that is definitely a 5-wave move for sure. I mean, everything before then just looks corrective on the weekly. It almost looks like we had this wave 2 with this almost A wave, B wave. Wait a second, is that a 5-wave move there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kind of there. So that could be a 1, this could be a 2, but then there's no follow-up 3. The next wave starts here. Yeah, I mean, it almost looks like we have sort of this wave 1 with this extended 2, and then we got the wave 3. I'm seeing if we put that instead of right there, what that looks like over here. I mean, that still kind of fulfills the rules. So, I mean, based on this smaller wave right here, we're definitely topped. It's just a matter of where does this thing bottom? That's the question. So looking at this 5-wave move here on the weekly, the next zone that I would pay attention to for silver is we kind of already hit the 0.618 on the A wave, B wave. We probably get either one more retrace to the 0.618. Maybe we get a lower dip or we get some sort of expanding flat C where we kind of just chop out. Let's go to the daily. Just want to see what that looks like on the daily. All right, so we definitely had the big drop for the wave A, B, C. Then we had an A, B, C up. Then we have an A, B, C here. So, I mean, technically this could be a running flat. And we had a big A wave with this ABC up and then this ABC down. However, this could also be an ABC A wave, then we get an ABC B wave, and then we get an ABC C wave down. So it could morph into a complex correction. But on this initial drop down, we did hit the 0.618 right here, like to the T, which looks like an A wave. Because this definitely isn't an impulse of 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's just corrective. So we have an A wave, a B wave, a C wave, an A, B, C. And we have this other ABC. You're still at a deep discount from all-time highs. Now, let's evaluate what a next target would be for this on the wave 5. So, on the weekly, the next target on the weekly for the wave 5, the next target for silver is 157. That's the next target for silver is 157. Now, the question is, which is not confirmed yet because it's just the complex correction, which is always the hardest to dissect, is we have the A wave, the B wave, and we do have a 3-wave move down. The only challenge is we could have this ABC, and then we have an ABC up and then an ABC down, or we can have an ABC down for the A and ABC up for the B, and then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement down for the wave C. So it's really just in a complex correction right now, which is always the hardest to determine when that thing's going to bottom. Your best strategy when you have complex corrections is to dollar cost average. You're never going to be able to time a perfect entry on a complex correction, but the next zone based on this structure is 157 is next. Fib it to the tick. Yeah, I mean, it literally retraced exactly right to the 0.618. I mean, it's just incredible. Let me look at that one more time. Let me just gather in the beauty of that. I mean, it went right to it, like to the fucking number. Look at this shit. I mean, I don't know how close. I mean, it's literally right at the 0.618 and then we bounce. But if you look at it on the daily time frame, right, you have this A wave, B wave, C wave, then the A, B, C, and then you have the A, B, C. So this could be a running flat, which would mean the C wave doesn't retrace lower than the wave A. That could be the case. You know, you have an ABC, an ABC, and then an ABC. The only thing is, this thing could also morph into another ABC, another ABC, which is again, the challenge. I think my strategy with silver, I am not personally allocating funds to silver. But if I was looking to get into silver, my strategy would be buy a little bit now so you're in the trade, because based on this structure, we've had an ABC, an ABC, and an ABC. So the next move is either an ABC up for the B wave or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move up to 157. Regardless of it, you're still going to catch the bounce. What you'll be able to determine after this is if you get in here and then you see a 3-wave move off of it, for me, that would mean this is a B wave, and then we should expect a C wave down. Then what you could do is again, the strategy, take a little bit here, you're in the trade, you don't get FOMO for missing it out. Then if it, does a 5-wave move off the low, the next target is 157. If it does a 3-wave move off the low, that another 3-wave move is next. Take another position here, and then wait for the 5-wave move up for the 157. But the next target on it is 157, so that would be my strategy. Silver always takes 10 years to come back. Yeah, I mean, again, it's more of a long-term investment. That's how I invest. I invest on long-term. I do not invest on, I don't put timetables on my thing. I find undervalued positions, take undervalued stocks and undervalued cryptos, take a position, and then hold. I don't look to sell it in, 6 months to a year. What are some of the main points of that Elliott Wave book you were talking about? Structure. It's just evaluating structure. Like when you look at this, you'll see the 1, 2, 3 movement, the 1, 2, 3 movement, and the 1, 2, 3 movement. That's how you kind of analyze it. I gotta put a magnet on my screen for that line to go up. What time is it? 8 o'clock? I said I was only going to stream till 8 because I am feeling a little bit under the weather today, if I'm being honest. My nose is super congested, if you can't tell. And I am a little bit tired. Cardano, my next targets on Cardano are like $5, $6. So will you take profits when your targets are hit, though? Sell it or hold some? It depends on what wave they're in, Logan. So like silver, for example, because we're in the wave 5, I would take profits or probably sell it all, or maybe a portion. It just depends on your strategy. Like if you want to hold something for long term, it depends on your strategy. For silver, for example, say I got in like, here, I don't know, I'm just hypothetical here. You have the 1, the 2, we've already had the 3, we should get the pullback 4, and then the 5. Based on that structure, if you see the 5-wave movement, you could take profits here, wait for the ABC, and then buy again, and then ride up another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement. You could do that. You could also wait for, this to be the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5. Take full profits, and then wait for the ABC lower, and then, take another position. It really just depends on what you want to do. For me, it's just For me, it's evaluating the structure. Like, where is our wave count? What wave count are we in? If, for example, you bought silver, down here in the wave 1, and then you had the initial run up 1, then the 2, and then, you see the 3, you could have taken profits at the 3, waited for the dip 4, and then, on the 5th, take full position out. It really just depends on how you want to approach it. Taking profits isn't always a bad thing, because if price does decide to go wave 3 and then a huge rejection wave 4, which invalidates the wave count, you've already taken money off the top and you've secured some of your capital and eliminated some risk off the table. I have a small amount of silver and didn't even try cashing out. I heard most places weren't even taking it or bought at a heavy discount from spot physical silver. Interesting. That's interesting. I mean, gold for me is top too, which again, gold and silver just are different stages of the cycle right now. Silver's in wave 3, whereas gold is in wave 5. But I think a lot of people are bag holding gold right now, and they're going to get wrecked. Yeah, I mean, if you bought, the top back here in 2011, you've had to wait, 15 years to even be in basically 2x profit. You made 2x on your money. Okay, I'll do one more chart and then I'm probably going to log off because I am getting pretty tired and my nose is stuffed up and I can't really breathe through my nose. The refineries weren't taking it, backlog. Oh, that makes sense. I'll give you a nugget of what I'm looking at for a swing trade opportunity. I'll give you a little nugget to end the day. So this is one that I'm evaluating right now on more of a shorter time frame for a swing trade. So the stock is Venture Global. It's the name of the stock. And we've had a big ABC wave. You can kind of see it here, just a massive ABC wave. And we've had a really big price appreciation off these lows. About 129% price appreciation off the low. And of that price appreciation, we've had a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're currently in the 5th. What I'm waiting for is a pullback between the 0.382 to the 0.618. In order for me to enter this trade, I'm waiting for the 0.5. So when we get an ABC pullback to about the 0.5, I'm going to enter a swing trade, probably pick up some call options, a year out on this thing, and then ride up the next wave 3. So this being the wave 1, the pullback 2, and then the wave 3. So this is one that I'm looking at getting into for a swing trade opportunity just based on the structure. We have a 1, 2, a 3, a 4, and then a 5. With the current price is $12, almost $13. If we get a pullback to the 0.5, that'll trigger my entry for my trade. If we don't, I just won't enter it, but this is one that I'm looking at to take a swing trade on. VG, yeah, the ticker name's VG, Venture Global. So yeah, VG right here, VG. But this is what I'm looking at getting into a swing trade. I'll probably buy some call options here once we get to the 0.5. If price, decides to go ABC to the 0.382 and then reverse, that's not part of my strategy, so I just won't enter the trade. If we get a retrace to the 0.5, I'll probably buy, a few call options, and then if price decides to go to the 0.618, I'll buy a few more to kind of reduce my entry price. So I'll take a position at the 0.5, then I'll take a position at the 0.618, and then my next target on that, again, using Elliott Wave Theory, will be, if I can get this to the low here. If we get an entry to the 0.5, my next target will be $22 on that. So I'll take a position around $9 to $8 and then ride it up to 22. But this is a little free nugget that I'm looking to swing trade on here in the next, whenever this thing decides to correct. How many TikTok accounts do you have? Only one. So only one account. I think there's a bunch of spammers trying to copy my shit. So my username is the same as YouTube. So it's just nicholas.cassesi. If you click I think I have my link tree in my YouTube description and on TikTok. So it's in my TikTok too. But there's a link in my YouTube description. It's just my link tree with all my socials on it. If you hit that, my TikTok link will show there and it'll bring you to the right one. But apparently there's a bunch of people trying to scam. I've gotten a lot of DMs saying, is this you? Is this you? Apparently people are copying my shit and just reposting my stuff, which I'm not mad about because it helps get my face out there in the name. Because if you're going to watch the real thing, you're going to come to me, not the scammers' accounts. So I don't ever DM you. I don't ever request money. I don't ever send you a telegram, nothing. So if someone sends you something posing to be me, don't click it. Just don't click it. Don't do it. You'll get buy alerts, right? Yeah, whenever I enter the trade, I'll let you guys know. There's a lot of people bullish on VG. I mean, rightfully so. I mean, we had a massive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 100% gain. Once we get the pullback, that's when I'll enter and then ride it up. This is new info. New portion of something I've been working on, healthcare. New portion of something I'm working on. I wanted to integrate. I haven't really done like many swing trades, like that just wasn't part of my strategy. A lot of it's more just long-term investing. So something new I'm getting into, obviously it will probably come with learning curves just because I've never really done it before. I've done day trading, which that's really hard. So I moved away from that more to long-term investing using Elliott Wave Theory for it. I don't know how many people are profitable day trading. It's very hard. And I just don't have the time for it, like to sit in front of the chart all the time, which swing trading allows me to kind of do that, and we'll see how it goes. But I'll be letting you guys know whenever I, get into these trades. How you set extension? Oh, I'll show you. So on the, let me move some of this stuff. So I'll just start from scratch. So on this stock right here, you take this tool, it's called the trend-based fib extension. You take it from the bottom, and then you click at the bottom. If I can get it to get to the bottom. You click at the bottom, then you click again at the top, and then it'll bring this sort of extension thing down. And for me, if that retraces to the 0.5, I would put it at the 0.5, which is marked by this line right here. Then you hit it again, and then you'll get these fib extensions, on the chart. Essentially, all that means is typically the wave 3 goes to 1.618 extension of wave 1, which means this is the wave 1, the wave 2, and then the wave 3 extends about 1.6 times the size of wave 1. That's all that means. Gaming Assault, hi Nick from Dubai. How are you, man? How are you? You actually just joined when I'm about to log off. I'm getting tired. My nose is so stuffed up I can barely breathe. It's all this pollen down here. That wasn't you. Who did I send Farkley to? Yeah, I don't send any links. I don't send any telegrams. I don't send none of that. So if there's anyone sending you stuff, don't click it. Any updates on EOS? Haven't purchased it yet. I haven't made any updates on it. My next target is $2, but no updates yet. I'm waiting for Bitcoin to do its thing and retrace to the 50K region. EOS will probably decline a little bit more, and then I'll pick up some positions. So no updates on EOS yet. And I won't leave you out, Sparsh. My next target on Hood's $300, but I do see 64 next. But with that being said, I appreciate, again, all the support. Thank you, guys. This was another great live stream. I hope that my new swing trading nugget in there was a little bit of information, something to look forward to, I guess, I have a few. I have about six stocks I'm tracking right now to enter some swing trades based on the structure. VG being the one that I like right now because I think it's the cleanest structure. But as those kind of get into my zones, I'll be looking to take a position. So it's just a waiting game for those. Thank you, Nick. Absolutely, Adri. Absolutely. Thank you. Absolutely. I will see y'all tomorrow, same time. Hopefully my nose is not as stuffed up tomorrow as it is today. All this pollen down here in Georgia is killing me. But good live stream. I will see y'all tomorrow. I'll obviously post my Bitcoin update tomorrow morning as I usually do, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. It's going to be volatile. We got PPI at 8:30 in the morning. We got FOMC at 2 p.m. and then Powell speaks at 2:30. So be prepared for some volatility tomorrow because FOMC days and news days are always volatile, especially when Powell's speaking about interest rates. And if he decides to get hawkish or decides to say something that the market wasn't prepared for, everyone goes into a frenzy. What's a swing trade? I don't know. Apparently, I Googled it one time. Apparently, it's a term that says you're going to hold a trade from 3 months to 12 months. So it's more of a shorter term trade, I guess. But it's not like a day trade where you buy a position and close it within a day. It's a position you buy and then you hold it for 3 to 12 months. I guess that's what a swing trade is. The Earl is losing his mind. Yeah, facts. All right, y'all. I will see you tomorrow. Again, appreciate the support, and let's see what the price of Bitcoin brings us tomorrow. We'll see what FOMC does, and then we'll kind of evaluate based on that price action. We know our invalidation levels, so until those are hit, expect some downside. But hope you all have a great rest of your night. Get your March Madness brackets in if you guys are doing those, and I'll see you all tomorrow.